One of my absolute favorite parts about this rig is the backstory to every stripe you see in here. You're not a nomad unless you collect weird rocks from all the places that you go. The big thing about having a blind dog is that things need to stay in the same place when you're in your rig. Next thing you know, he's holding up this antler still connected to the skull. Howdy y'all, I'm Nick, this is Gnarly, and welcome to the tour. All right guys, well welcome to my kitchen. This is one of the most used spaces in the bus. One of my two favorite things about this kitchen is the oven. When I built the bus, I said I needed three things. It would be a closet, an oven, and a toilet. I'm a huge fan of making cookies, and I love cooking, so the 3-burner stove from Rec Pro was kind of the must-have in the bus. The idea for this was to put it close to the door and the fan so that, you know, we can have the cooking fumes kind of go out the bus and not do anything weird. My second favorite thing about the kitchen was the countertop. So this countertop is called Bird's Eye Maple. I found a 9-foot slab from some random dude in a Cabela's parking lot. Took it back, spent 6 days sanding this thing down. We've got the live edge here. It's probably the thickest sink insert you'll ever see in your life. My last sink was about 1/3 of the size of this, so it's really nice to have this big deep sink here. We put this here in the middle because I have this awesome emergency exit where you can take an outside shower if you like. I really like entertaining, so I have this outside countertop that flips out and, you know, make coffee for people or drinks or, you know, whatever you need. A little bit further down the line, we have one of my also favorite pieces about the countertop. It's my sweet little handle here for my fridge. I've got the fridge freezer set up from Nomadic. Huge ice cream fan, so my freezer is essentially full of ice cream. Big thing about the hanging knives is that you don't put them this way, because when you're hitting bumps, you're gonna have a danger zone happening in here. We had planned to do overhead cabinets on both sides of the rig, and my thought is that you have something that comes out to here, you're doing dishes, you're trying to look out your windows, and then you've got just a giant cabinet in your face. So, you know, I just wanted something to hang on my spices, my coffee, you know, random little knickknacks. Huge hot sauce fan, got every hot sauce you could ever need. Also somewhere to hang on my photos. My water capacity in here is 42 gallons. It's a huge upgrade from the 11 gallons I used to have. I only have to fill up my water, I'd say once every 2 weeks. My water tank actually is right underneath my bed. Yeah, I never really have to worry about running out. It's pretty awesome. So underneath the oven, I've got a giant thing for all of my pots, pans. Nice to have just a massive drawer in here. Next to that, I have perfect space for my water bottles. Right behind it is my propane tank, so it kind of created this really weird space that happens to perfectly fit 4 water bottles. Make sure that you guys also always make locks for your cabinets, because I didn't do that initially and drawers were flying out left and right. That's not fun. Under here is just space for trash can, cutting boards, all your cleaning supplies. Really nice thing about having a bus is you have space for a full-size kitchen trash can. Underneath here was a really weird storage area that is just the full length of the fridge, and it happened to be perfect for all of my little cups and knickknacks and bowls and weird pans that you never really know what to do with. Putting some non-slip stuff underneath, because you live in a rig, everything moves, and your dog's not happy about it. Getting on the road, what kind of got me into it was I took my first road trip actually on my honeymoon with my ex-wife. I ended up just falling in love with the road. I think since then I had taken 5 road trips across the country from Massachusetts, and I just truly enjoyed being out there. And so when I had sold my dog daycare and gotten a remote job, I figured, hey, this might be the best opportunity. I had gotten divorced with my wife. I had this truck and figured, how do I get on the road? And the easiest way for me to get on the road was to buy a 50-year-old camper, as cheap as I could find it, get it in the back of the truck, and just hit the road. And so I did that. Took me about 7 or 8 months in the truck camper and going to Skoolie Palooza to really figure out what was right for me. That's when I decided that school bus was my jam. And so 11 months in the truck camper, and fast forward to now, and here we are in this home that I feel like I can do for years and years now, which is a big deal for me. One of my absolute favorite parts about this rig is the backstory to every stripe you see in here. We kind of had this idea to make it like a log cabin vibe, but didn't really have any real plan as to what the design was going to be. I have an old friend in Moab. She's lived there since the 50s. She's seen it all. And when I visited her and told her I was building a bus, she said, well, I have some wood on my property, and we went to go check it out, and some really old kind of ratty 4x4s, and we kind of took them as a courtesy to be like, yeah, we'll take a couple of these 4x4s. We cut them open and found out that they were these beautiful, amazing colored pieces of wood. Travis says, go back and get 30 more. We filled the bus with 30 4x4s, and he milled down all of this shiplap, all of these stripes. Every single stripe you see in here was milled down by 4x4s. Days and days and days of milling. It was the most wholesome moment, pulling this bus up, finished, with Nancy's name on the front. Just having her come in here and see all of these pieces. It's like one of the most beautiful moments I think I've ever had in my life. She's a lovely lady, and so I named the bus after her. Like I said before, one of my major things was having a closet. I used to military roll all of my clothes, which got very time consuming. And so I finally get to hang up all of my shirts and jackets. I can hang things here if they need to dry. Got all my pants down here. Gnarly has her little dog bed. This is her car seat when we're traveling. It's a nice spot for her to just be able to hang out and nothing moves. The big thing about having a blind dog is that things need to stay in the same place when you're in your rig. One of my best parts about going from a truck camper to this was that I can have water bowl storage that never moves. When your dog is blind and the water bowl moves every day, it's just like a really complicated situation. And so seeing her jump off the bed and be able to actually drink water on her own accord is just like weirdly great for me. Next, we have the L-shaped couch area. I'm really happy that we did this because I love to entertain. I think I've done 8 people in here with a table in the middle and 2 dogs, and camp chairs around this. People with vans have these little tiny hallways, and we've got this big space for all kinds of activities. You could do yoga in here and jumping jacks if you're not 6 feet tall. So this is my workstation / lounge area. I decided to make this so that I could sit here if I wanted to. I can lay here and work if I want to. Sit anywhere you want. These Lagoon table mounts are great. I really wanted multiple places to be able to hang out, sit, not feel like I'm crammed in just one spot working all the time. Especially when you've got all these windows, it's really nice to be able to pick which view that you want to have. I'm sure you will all notice that these are 2 different heights. The major reason actually for the 2 different heights of the couches was to fit the toilet. So the toilet is right in here. It's a composting toilet. Slides out nice and easy. It's pretty lovely. Having a toilet is one of the best things, especially composting toilet. I have 2 spots to watch my TV, which is my iPad. I've got these cool little ram mount arms, so you can kind of make it go wherever you need. Lounge out on my couch, hang out, watch my TV, eat my dinner. I'll sit here and put my ice cream right here. There's fun storage underneath here. So we've got Gnarly's, all of her food and everything that you need for dog stuff. So then I have my little random knick-knack drawer, scissors, a little beer koozie, my ice cream koozie. Pretty much things that you might need on just like a daily basis that you want to access. Underneath here is some more storage. It's just like a big empty cavern of space, which is really nice because I also have another big empty cavern of space for all of my other fun stuff. DeWalt vacuum. Vacuum is kind of a 1%er of van life kind of vibe, but it's a great one. I got ample tennis balls, all the tennis, sorry. You know, this is just like kind of a random little storage compartment. Over here is my electrical station, solar charging information here, my inverter switch there, a couple of outlets. One little fun thing that Travis did here is we took some of the extra live edge wood, popped it right in here for this just kind of fun, almost looks like a mountainscape kind of vibe. And one of the best decisions we ever made for the bus was garage access from the front of the bus, because you will end up putting all of your stuff way in the back, and if you want to get to your gear, you're gonna have to climb in there, take everything out. I keep things that I need on a more regular basis in here, just some random things, just really handy. I suggest everyone have a inside garage access. So this is the bedroom area. One of the things that I wasn't sure if I was gonna be happy about, that ended up being one of my top pieces of the bus as well, was this kind of walled section. It really kind of makes you feel like you are in a bedroom. You can darken this section out. There's nice, like, you can hang things if you want. When you're laying in here, you just feel a little bit more comfy and cozy, which I really liked. I chose not to do overhead storage in the bedroom. It's really nice to just kind of be in here and not have to worry, especially when I want to sit up, and I have this little reading light in here that I can just kind of sit up in bed and read. I have shelves up here and up in here. There's some hats, and I'm a huge hat person, so I have a ridiculous amount of hats, and I technically only wear like 3 of them, but I keep buying more hats, just keep hanging them up. Probably end up with 50 more hats over here over the course of time. Over here, I have my shelving area, and I keep my books up here. Having a bookshelf is really nice. I have a full-size mattress. Everyone always wants the queen-size mattress, but I live alone with a tiny dog. Honestly, this could fit 2 people and 2 dogs just fine. Having that, you know, extra few inches this way, extra couple inches this way, really goes a long way, especially when you live in such a small space. You know, I chose not to have a shower for that reason. Yeah, and then favorite thing about the back of the bedroom, the back door. It's really great to just be able to open this thing up. You know, when the bike's not on, it just swings right open, and you just got like the view of pretty much everything. And there's also another emergency exit back here. So right behind my bed, the window swings open just like the one in the kitchen. The airflow in here is just impeccable. When you open all the windows, there's just nothing like being in a canyon and just having that like fresh air flying in. And yeah, I absolutely adore having every single window in here still be a window. My advice for anyone who wants to try and do this lifestyle is you don't need to go big all at once. A lot of people think, I've got to get this crazy budget, I've got to buy a crazy Sprinter van, you know, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and it gets really overwhelming and it seems like a daunting task. All you need to do is have a little bit of cushion and savings, find the easiest way to get yourself on the road. You will figure out what you need as you go. You just gotta get yourself to try it. The easiest way to do that is whatever you got. If you have a Subaru or a truck or an SUV or like, you know, whatever, you don't have to sell that. You could just find some YouTube videos, build it out, and hit the road. You don't need a remote job. You can, you know, work seasonal jobs. You can figure that kind of stuff out as you go and try to be as stress-free as you can. Do your best not to overthink it, and that'll get you a long way. Here we got the driver's area of the bus. As you can see, there's no passenger seat in here. So instead of the passenger area, I've got all of my shoe storage. It's got this, you know, key hangy area where you can just keep everything. Above that is one of my must keep parts of the original bus. So when we gutted the whole bus, this was fully decked out in seats and everything that the kids still had in here, and there was a no sunflower seed sign taped to the electrical panel. I actually have no problem with sunflower seeds, but it's a rule now, and so I took it out. Travis cut and made a frame for it, and I just permanently affixed it to the front. It's just so random and weird that I love it. My dashboard's got my two little friends from Baja. Up here, I've got my sunglasses. You're not a nomad unless you collect weird rocks from all the places that you go. Got my backup camera. That is very handy when your bus is 24 feet long with a motorcycle on the back. That paired with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mirrors, and this thing drives like a dream. There's no speakers in here. I don't even know why there's a radio. So I drive with my Bose speaker hanging, which is hung by a magnet, which is really nice when your whole rig is made of steel. And then there's little compartments. I've got electrical panel here, and next to this is Nick's snack bin. Behind the seat is storage for things like window covers. I've got my front window cover here. There's also a tension rod for the front of the bus when you want to stealth camp and you just want to like cover the front. You got that for anything needed. And that basically covers the front of the bus. This is the back of the bus. One of the biggest game changers was last September when I visited a friend who had a motorcycle. I was able to park my rig, take the bike around, and I think within 10 days, I owned a motorcycle. It is really nice to park your rig, take your bike. This thing takes $6 to fill it, and it goes over 100 miles. I popped Gnarly in a backpack. She's got a little dog goggles on, and we just cruise around, or we'll go for a hike, and there's no need to take the bus. You can take it down these dirt roads, go kind of explore campsites, see if it's too gnarly for the bus, because we're not going off-roading in this thing. I am a insane sticker fan. I just kind of do all kinds of stickers all over the back. Instagram handle's really nice. It's really enjoyable when someone would just send me a picture of me driving on the highway. Or the other day, someone told me I had a taillight out. They just commented on my Instagram and they're like, hey, your taillight's out. And so I never would have known had I not just like had that up there. I have my Starlink mount up there. So you just pop that in, goes straight up, and I got internet pretty much wherever I need. Got 400 watts of solar, charging 300 amp hours of battery. It also charges when I drive, so my battery doesn't typically go under 70% unless it's super cloudy all the time. Right in here underneath my bed is where I keep my Starlink, tools, jack, spare tire, backpack, skateboards, water tank. It's really nice to have that garage space that I did not have before. I'm a big skateboarder. I've been skating for 25 years. I had lots of like sponsors and stuff when I was younger, and so I throw my Spitfire stickers up there, a Thrasher sticker, and got some really favorite stickers on here. When I was gutting the bus, I had to grind out about 500 rivets. Skoolie.com sent me a Rivet Slayers Club sticker, which I just absolutely adore. Between that and my Narwhal sticker, those are my favorites. Something about the bus that happened quite recently was this elk antler. I was foraging for firewood with a buddy of mine in a national forest. Next thing you know, he's holding up this antler still connected to the skull. So I brought it back to camp, giddy like a child on Christmas. And I, pulled the chainsaw out, chopped this thing off the skull, which is like a really interesting experience. Found a place to hang it, and it is technically illegal to have animal parts displayed on your vehicle in the national parks. The reason for that is they just don't know if you took it from the park or not. So I actually keep this connected with buckles so that when I go into a national park, I will take this thing off and bring it inside. I'm emotionally attached to it. It's just a lovely piece of nature. All right, well everyone, thank you so much for coming and taking a tour of my bus. It really means a lot. I'm super proud of this thing, so I'm really excited that y'all made it to the end of this video. Our Instagram handle is Nick and Gnarly, N-A-R-L-I-E. I know it's spelled a little weird, but she's a little gnarly dog. Come follow my Instagram and follow along and hopefully kind of join along that journey. Also check out the Journal of Lost Time. I do gear reviews for them, and they create nomad events around the country. Thanks again, and hopefully to see you out there on the road.